So, what are we gonna do tonight, O.C.G?
Well, the same thing we try to do every night, Bertrum. Take over YouTube. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to Obsessive Compulsive Gaming. I am the Obsessive Compulsive Gamer, joined once again by my faithful manservant / factotum Bertrum. Say hello, Bertrum.
Hello, Bertram.
And this is my review for Gal Guardian's Demon Purge. So, dear viewer, if you wouldn't mind, don't you dare forget to subscribe to this channel and like this video. Gal Guardian's Demon Purge, released earlier this year, and this is well, I suppose we can call it a Castlevania clone.
Why?
Well, I'm getting to that, Bertram, I'm getting to that. Keep your pants on.
But I already took them off.
Oh. Well, never mind then. What was I talking about? Oh, yes. So, Bertram's penis is incredibly long. No. See what you just done now, Bertram? You distracted me. You clouded my thoughts with thoughts about your incredibly long. And anyway, Gal Guardian's Demon Purge is a kind of Castlevania clone. And what that basically means is you're going to be traversing stages, fighting enemies, doing some platforming, facing off against bosses who are harder than I was watching the latest gameplay for the Suicide Squad video game. You'll smash objects to collect power-ups and hearts and all that good stuff. And while in 90% of the Castlevania games you find yourself playing as a chap, in Gal Guardian's Demon Purge, you play as not one, but two chapettes.
Chapettes?
You know, the female version of chaps.
Oh!
Yes. One of them has a machine gun, and the other one attacks enemies with, I don't know, a sword or a dagger or some such nonsense. The point is, they both have breasts.
Okay, and that's relevant. How?
I hadn't really properly thought out this argument, Bertram. Never mind. So, we play as two chapettes. You can swap between them on the fly, using their various abilities and moves in order to get through the stages. And this game has a very interesting structure. In fact, while I was playing it, it reminded me of a hard-as-nails game I played back in the 1990s. Long before the Titanic sank and I witnessed a pair of star-crossed lovers having sex in the back of an automobile. Ha ha!
Are you talking about the movie Titanic?
What gave it away, Bertram? Was it me saying when the Titanic sunk, perhaps?
Oh, yes it was.
You know, Bertram, could you maybe go and find a pair of trousers or a pot or something just to pour over that incredibly large penis of yours? I can't help but look at the bloody thing. I'm trying to record this review, and every 2 seconds I keep looking over and going, ooh, wish mine was as big as that. So if you wouldn't mind, go and do something with it. Now don't touch it though. We know what happened the last time you touched it for more than a second. A perfectly priceless erotic painting ruined. Anyway, what was I talking about? Oh yes, Gal Guardian's Demon Purge. So it's kind of like Castlevania. It has levels, just like Castlevania. You kind of attack and platform, just like in Castlevania. Oh yes, Ghouls and Ghosts, that's what I was going to talk about. The game. The hard-as-nails game back in the 1990s, before we got onto this whole Titanic incredibly large penis business, was ghouls and goblins. Now in that game, when you get to the boss, you have to go back to the beginning of the game and essentially play the whole bloody game again. Well, something very similar happens here. You get to the quote-unquote final boss, you get sent back to the beginning, then you have to gather some items for some horny schoolboy or something. Don't worry, it'll make sense if you play the game. So essentially you have to replay most of the levels you've already played and fight most of the bosses you've already fought. But of course, this being the second half of the game, they are even harder this time. Now that might put some of you off. And that's fine. Be put off. Don't buy this game. Go and do something else. But for those of you who do enjoy a Castlevania game, who have maybe played Ghosts and Goblins and know exactly what I'm talking about, then I'm sure you'll find this rather enjoyable. But what did I think of the game? Yes, because after all, no one gives a shit what you think, dear viewers. You come here to hear what I think. And I must admit, this was a very enjoyable game for me. It did drag a bit in the second half, and yes, some of the bosses were more frustrating than that time I tried to explain Einstein's theory of relativity to a village idiot. But apart from that, this is a very good Castlevania clone. Therefore, I declare that Gal Guardian's Demon Purge is very good. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, my totally not improvised review for Gal Guardian's Demon Purge. If you enjoyed this little review of mine, don't forget to give me a thumbs up. If you haven't enjoyed it, well then, feel free to give me a thumbs down. But please remember the single most important thing I always tell you, dear viewer, that is to always stay obsessed with gaming. Say goodbye, Bertrum.
Goodbye, Bertram.
Say goodbye, Bertram's incredibly huge penis. Are you still here? Oh, you must have really enjoyed this video then. In that case, you had better subscribe to the channel and check out our other content. Otherwise, you're a booby pants, and no one wants to be a booby pants.